The creation of the North Reading football group, as we had it this summer, started about 3 years ago. Tommy McHugh, who's a senior linebacker for North Reading right now, came in, did personal training with me for about 6 months, asked if he could get his teammates in here and do some of the training as, kind of team building and get the team better for the season. We had about 8 to 10 guys at the end of that summer come in, try out the program. They really, really liked it. So they talked to me, when can we come back as a team? How do we come back as a team and get this thing going for next fall? Captains did everything together. They organized it, no parents, no coaches. So summer 2015, we had about 25 guys in here with the North Reading football group, 10 weeks of training leading into their fall season, and they had their best fall they had in about 3 or 4 years. They beat their rival for the first time in 20 years. So kind of all of the other kids really saw this success that the kids had training with us. So they came back to me, hey, we want to have a group bigger and better than ever. In a week, had 50 kids signed up and registered for our program. Largest single team we've ever had at Athletic Evolution. We want efficiency, and we want effectiveness of the program for these athletes. So in order to do that with a group of 50 athletes, you need to make sure, one, that the athletes are doing what they're capable of doing, and then two, that they're getting proper coaching and instruction throughout. We'd split the group into groups of about 15 to 20 athletes. One of those groups is beginners, all athletes who have never been in our strength and conditioning program before, mostly 8th and 9th graders, and their program is introductory, or an introduction into strength and conditioning. Very, very basic movement principles, really training their group patterns so that when we eventually later on in the program, put a weight and put a barbell in their hands, that they're able to do everything safely and effectively. The kids who are returning, we split into 2 groups. We had our skill position, we had our line. The skill guys are going to spend a little bit more time doing plyometrics and linear speed development, as opposed to as much heavy lifting as the linemen or the line positions do. Then we would always bring these guys back in together so that they didn't feel like they were separated from the group. They were part of a team, and all of our team building stuff, all of our conditioning based stuff would all be done together as a group. I had an assistant coach leading each group, and then I'd have about 4 or 5 interns assisting those coaches. So once again, we made sure that safety was a priority, and then efficiency and effectiveness throughout the whole program. And then I would walk around and oversee all these groups to make sure they're running the way I want it to be run, so that I can have hands-on with all of my coaches and all of my athletes underneath me. We have a beautiful facility, a lot of square footage, whereas a lot of high school gyms and other facilities don't have the size we have. So we can have 50 athletes come in here and train, as opposed to, doing them in small little groups, or not everyone being able to use the equipment they want to use. We also have access to equipment like, the Kaiser machines and the Vertimax machines, and a lot more squat racks and platforms that most facilities in high schools also don't have. They just don't have the staff to teach athletes to lift the right way, and then to keep eyes on an athlete. Having 3 main coaches underneath me to watch these 3 groups, then having 4 or 5 interns within those groups, so that every platform, every squat rack has a coach on it with eyes on these athletes. And you see that team really come together by the end. When someone's dogging it or looks like they want to give up, guys come over and they pick each other up.